Yo, 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 what's going on, people? Y'all know who it is, right? I had to come and tap in with y'all today because, man, oh, man, oh, man, I be doing my history, I be doing my research, you feel me? So for the past couple days, I've talked about the community, per se, the trans side of the community. And I wasn't awake to a lot of the fuckery that's going on and things like that. So I've been doing my research on interviews and things like that just to hear other people's opinion to make sure people do feel like I feel when I hear all the fuckery going on. So what we're gonna review today is something I was from a while ago, but it deals with Piers Morgan. And he said the International Women's Day should be stopped. And he has his reasons, and we going to check that out. But before we do, it's the Think Bigger Don't Think At All show. If you ain't thinking big, you thinking small. Pause. It's your boy, Thinkbiggoldie. You know me. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, hype, and share this video OD until you what, people? Until you OD. So like I said, right, we gonna get into the little drink with Piers Morgan, and we gonna actually see what it is. You know what I'm saying? See what it is that he is speaking about and what's his views. And like I say, he has other people on there as well to give their opinions. You feel me? So now let's get into it. Let's see what Piers. Let me pull my screen down a little bit. But let's see what Piers has to say about the whole women thing, etc., etc., etc. You dig? Fuck with me.
Well,
Let's
joining me
go.
now is the author and commentator Angelica Mallet, Talk TV's Esther Krakau, and Fox News contributor Tommy Loren. So, Tommy Loren, let me start with you. Two people in Britain today who've been at the forefront of not saying what a woman is. One is Nicola Sturgeon, the ex-First Minister of Scotland, who lost her job because of this ridiculous farce of a rapist self-identifying. She tweeted today, proud on International Women's Day to visit my old University of Glasgow, and banged on about women's rights. This is the woman who just literally lost her job for allowing a male rapist into a female prison. And Sir Keir Starmer, who's leader of the opposition.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Did y'all catch what I caught? So this lady just lost her job. I have recently lost her job because she must have been the head of a prison, and she allowed a male rapist to cover to be on a woman's side. Do y'all even understand that? Because what the male rapist identifies as a woman. So this person at this jail that ran this jail allowed a rapist to go on the woman's side because they identified as a woman. So now you put a whole bunch of women in danger. Like, what are we talking about here? Be like, out of
Labour
line.
Party here was talking about protections for women in Parliament today, and yet he refuses to say what a woman is. Where are we with this? How has it come that leaders of parties in countries like the UK, and we see a lot of it in America as well, just won't say what a woman is?
And this is where I'm at with it. How is this the most difficult question in the world to say, or the most difficult explanation to give to say what a woman is? Like, this is yeah, this is how we downgrade women? Like, are we serious? So my mother had me. My mother birthed me. I have a mother. So what do I look like looking at my mom's face and being like, well, Mom, I don't know if you really had me because I don't really know what a woman is, and I don't know if you could actually give birth or some shit like that. Like, just, it sounds stupid, right? That's my point. That is exactly my point. Stupid.
Well, first of all, I have to apologize to you because all of this wokeness originates here in the United States of America, and then we export it to you in the UK.
Yes, you're to blame.
So we started this really in America. Yes, we are. You know, the wokeness starts here, and then it, of course, moves over, and now you guys have to deal with it. The world has to deal with it. But I say this, I'm proud to celebrate International Women's Day because I know what a woman is. So I would say if you don't know what a woman is, you don't get to celebrate it. You don't get to pretend to be a feminist when it's helpful to you or helpful to your political narrative. You have to be able to define what a woman is. This is all a farce. They are seeking to erase women, and this is the radical rainbow mafia, as I call it. This is not your average LGBT activist. This is the rainbow mafia section of that radical
Hold on. I love what she said. I love it. She gets there and says, this is the rainbow mafia. She goes, this ain't the LGBT activists. This is the rainbow mafia, and it's sad, people, because at the end of the day, this is what we see. We don't see the activists. The activists get overshadowed. You feel me? It's just like, for example, it's just like with black activists. They get overshadowed by all the fuckery that goes on that black people do, or the minorities do. So it gets overshadowed. So yes, the LGBT do have great activists that is not with the fuckery. I salute them, you know what I'm saying? But the other ones, like she said, the rainbow mafia, the radical niggas, they the ones that's fucking it up for y'all. For real, for real. We gotta call a spade, you dig? You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
LGBTQ movement that has made women less than and then has elevated all of this transgenderism and all of this pick your gender, identify as potato. They have hijacked the women's rights movement, the feminist movement, and actual feminists should be really pissed off about it.
Well, as a feminist, I am.
That's right. An actual feminist should be really pissed off about it. Women, men that are I don't care. Y'all should be pissed off. It should be an uproar about this. A real uproar, because it's not fair. It is not right. It's not that. You know what I'm saying? This is not freedom. This is not America, people. This is not what it's made of, people. Like, this is out of line. You know what I'm saying? So actually, yes, Women's Day, whether international or national Women's Day, should be celebrated by real women that have menstruals, real women that went through that struggle, real women that give birth, etc., etc. What are we talking about, people?
I recently interviewed Angelica, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and I asked him this question, which seems to stump many other leaders. Here's the clip. What is a woman? We know that Nicola Sturgeon can't answer that. We know Keir Starmer can't answer that. You're the British Prime Minister. What is a woman?
Yeah, of course I know what a woman is. An adult human female.
It's not difficult, is it, Angelica? I mean, that is what a woman is.
It's not.
I don't know why you're obsessed with defining it. Like, what is a man? Like, why do we need these arbitrary...
A man is a male, adult...
Because we need these.
Human. I mean, that's it.
Right, OK, I don't know that we need
These are just biological facts, but they're just facts. They're not arguable points, are they?
Well, but I think we have a right to self-identify. And you said
As
you
what?
want to...
As what?
If you would like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue around...
We've literally just seen a male rapist use that scam to get himself put into a female prison where he could attack vulnerable women inside a female prison, when even his ex-wife said it was all a scam. Which
is a terrible, very distressing, isolated incident. And I think it's easy to take that and say that means that no one can identify as a woman.
But
and
it's not an isolated incident, though.
But it's
42% of trans-identifying prisoners in prison are in there for sex crimes. There's actually an advantage, evidently, to identifying as a female, because they never identify as male, because somehow male prisons seem less appealing to them. It's really...
Wow, I didn't know that. She said 42% of the trans that are incarcerated for sex crimes. For example, Sydney Starr, incarcerated for sex crime. That's crazy. And we bugging? The heterosexuals, the people we're bugging? Like, come on, okay?
Weird. Anyway, but
is it limitless, this self-identity?
It's not totally limitless.
What's the limit?
When you're talking about International Women's Day, I don't know why we take the conversation around International Women's Day and make it about this.
But if anyone,
there's so many benefits.
Right, but if anyone, according to you, can identify as a woman, anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with.
Just literally put their hand up and say, I'm a woman.
But it's not an easy thing to do, to go out into the world.
It is easy.
You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say, this is who...
Hold on. It is easy to say and do, because if you say it or whatever, and if you scamming or whatever, if you got an underlying fact, it's easy to sit there and say, I'm a woman, and walk outside and sit there and say, I'm a woman. But the climate that we living in today, no, it's like, okay... So, yeah, it is easy to do. I can sit there and say I'm a woman today and go outside and be a woman. I don't necessarily got to get a wig, right? I don't necessarily have to have boobs, right? It's what, quote-unquote, I feel. Pause. I'm pausing that whole statement because that just sounds crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it's quote-unquote what I feel. So if I feel this way today, then this is what I'm going to go out today and feel, right? Like, come on. It is that easy.
Whatever that person decides, but to go out into the world and say, I don't identify as perhaps the sex I was born as. So why can't I
identify... OK, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was...
I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is...
I
Why can't I, on International Women's Day, say, I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it
yo, hold on. That's funny. That's funny. I'm sorry. It's a joke, but it's funny, but it's real. Why can't he identify as a black lesbian? If we can wake up and identify with whatever we can, why can't Piers Morgan sit there and come on his show the next day and say, I'm Patrice Morgan today, and I identify as a black lesbian, and address me as she or her? Y'all gonna look at him like he bugged the fuck out, right? Y'all gonna look at him like that nigga crazy, right? That's how we look at y'all, like y'all bugged out, y'all crazy. It's mental, like it's a whole mental
through
disorder.
a kind of absurd status.
I think
we're
that's
talking
what.
about quite a
With
strong
respect, I think
physical
that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say, I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually,
and
I
think
think
that's
what you
really
said
problematic.
ridicules trans people. Because actually, people who go through the full process of transition, who actually go through what we used to call a sex change, which I don't think we can muck around with original biology, but those who actually go through surgical procedure over a number of years, I've got great respect for that very difficult journey they go on. I have zero respect for people who just wallop their hand up and go, suddenly, I'm a woman, and
I respect what Piers Morgan said. I may not like the transitional changes and what they do with surgery, but I do respect that, because the people, the men or women, whatever the case may be, that actually go through the, like he said, we used to call it the sex change, all the transgender, all of that shit, it wasn't a word. So when they was going through the sex change, like they said, it took a process. It took pain. It took a process. Even though I ain't gonna say, even though I still don't like it, I respect it. I respect anybody that went through a process. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't just overnight. This is something that they said, no, this is really what I feel. This is really what I want. I'm going through the whole shit. I'm not just throwing on the wig, throwing on some fake titties or whatever, and just having a schlong, pause, and then going around saying, all right, I'm just what this is. You dig? You know what I mean?
all the rights that a woman has, and I want to compete, say, in sport. I'm a 6'4" athlete, sprinter, swimmer, whatever, who's competed very mediocrely in male sport. I now want to come in and crush women in swimming pools and in sprinting events and break all their records, perhaps irrevocably, just by saying, I'm a woman.
I'm a woman.
I think that is the absurdity you were talking about. My response was to say,
I had to pause it real quick because, again, like I said, this is a little bit older. So now, just like what he said, men going into these women's sports to dominate and dominate crazy, that's okay. That's disrespect to the women, and then the fake quote unquote trans is disrespect to the actual people who did transition with the sex change, who actually transitioned. You know what I'm saying? Because they went through a process, they had to pay, they had to do whatever they had to do to actually go through that transition, and that was a whole mental stimulation and strongness and things of that nature. Again, I'm not an advocate for them at all. Pause. You know what I mean? But we just talk about a process and a respect of something, as opposed to just lifting your hand up and saying, I'm Boquisha today. You dig? You know what I mean?
well, if it's limitless, why can't I then say whatever I want to say? And you say immediately, as I knew you would, well, that's ridiculous. But my point is, you were being ridiculous.
Well,
Ridiculous.
that's your opinion. You can think I'm ridiculous, but I don't think you can say, well, it has to
I don't know why I am, but you're not.
I don't think you have to say it's post-op is the only way that someone's allowed to identify
Well,
as
the
trans.
original
This is
standard
not
for,
for us
hold on,
to
the original
decide.
standard for being transgender was being diagnosed with gender dysphoria, which is a legitimate condition. And now it's being, however way you feel. So if you feel on Tuesday you're a woman and on Thursday you're a pizza, that's perfectly valid. But to you, that's ridiculous. And I want to know why that is ridiculous. We should be talking about actual women on International Women's Day. That's not crazy.
I mean, I agree. But
You see how she got a stuttering? I love it. I love it. And we need more women like this black woman right here to step up and preach, because she caught her. International Women's Day should be for real women to talk about that, bro. What we talking about all of this fake shit for? What are we doing? This is our day, the women. Our day. You get what I'm saying? Like, my thing is on some G shit. There's no way I could go to a man who's transitioning or whatever, or they want to be a fake woman today and Mother's Day come up and I tell this nigga Happy Mother's Day, man, you better get the fuck out of here, bro. You feel me? That's the Women's Day, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Your idea of an actual woman.
The chromosomes. It's pretty
It's an adult female. It's not
The
difficult.
chromosomes are a pretty good indication.
I don't think you have to be biologically female to identify
Then
as a
you are
woman.
wrong, because then I can identify as a fox.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
it's kind of an absurd point.
How many?
Like,
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you.
She said you don't have, the biological part doesn't have to identify you as a female. So what does? This is the delusion that we be talking about, B. The straight delusion of it. If the biological makeup doesn't tell you what a male or female is, then what are we talking about? Why even have this conversation? They try to turn the trans community, try to turn these type of conversations, like, you know how they sit there and say you ain't supposed to argue about religion and politics? They trying to insert their way into that, but no, sorry, can't do it. This is not a subjective matter, you know what I'm saying? This is the whole trans shit, this is not subjective. We coming with facts. You know what I'm saying? We coming with real shit. Y'all coming with a whole bunch of made up shit in your head because apparently this is what you feel. So you going, if the sky, y'all like Libras. If the sky is blue, and we know the sky is specifically blue, just like a Libra, if they feel what they feel, they're going to sit there and say, nah, that shit is red no matter what they see. And that's how the trans community is to me. You know what I'm saying? You're going to keep it all the way
Angelica, how many genders are there?
2.
There are 2 genders.
Lord.
Oh.
Wow. So you don't believe in transgenders at all?
Well, I think there are...
Whoa, hang on. Whoa.
Yeah,
there are 2 genders?
Well, it's taught in...
Well, why do you say well? You've literally just launched this huge defense of transgenderism. Now you've eradicated...
Yo, he killed her. He killed her. She said there's 2 genders. 2 genders. That means male and female, right? Male and female just stumped her, just killed her, knocked her out with the blow. Now she's stuttering, right? You come on, okay?
I think there's...
If there are 2 genders, you mean male and female, right?
There's gender fluidity. I will...
Fluid between what?
Between what?
Between different identities, and we can choose different
You
identities.
see how difficult this is, though?
But it is difficult, but I think making...
But it's not difficult until you make it difficult. You see, the BBC has done teaching videos to 11 and 12-year-olds where they say there are 100 genders. One of them was astrogender, which is an affinity with the stars and the galaxy. My response to that on the last show I did was to say, well, in that case, I identify as a two-spirit penguin. I was then told I was being ridiculous, but I made the same point. The ridiculousness is the BBC teaching kids there are 100 genders. There aren't. It is absurd. Bring back Tommy Lehran, who I imagine...
So, yeah, I feel Piers Morgan. I feel him. I feel him, pause. Like, what can we say? What can we say? Y'all teaching kids that there's 100 genders and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? And this is my thing, even with the schools and the education. Leave the damn kids alone, bro. Leave them alone. Why are we messing with their brains? Bro, that's what predators do. That's what they do. That's what these molesters do. They prey on the weak. They go grab them. They fuck with their brains. They this, that, and the third and all of that. This is what they do, bro. And so now this whole community is doing the same thing but calling it right. You pissing on me but calling it rain. You shitting on me and calling it thunder. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, for real. We got to keep going. And I know this is a long segment. I apologize, y'all. But, nah, this is educational. It has to be.
Is hyperventilating over there in America. Tommy, I mean, look, I don't see why, if it's limitless, I can't just say, I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian. Because that is where limitless self-identity takes us. It means that male rapists can say they're women and get into female prisons. It means I can say I'm a two-spirit penguin or a black lesbian, and why can't I? Because that is where it takes you.
Well, it certainly does, and I think you just had the perfect argument there. It's impossible to define, and it's impossible to stand up for because it's a mockery of what actual people are. And furthermore, going back to children, when this happens at a young age, when you start trying to convince kids that they don't know what gender they are, or they're born in the wrong body at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, that's child abuse. All right? Gender affirming
Yes.
care wherein you only tell somebody they can be whatever they want to be regardless of their biology at a young age, that is child abuse. It's happening in the
Yes.
UK, it's happening in the US, and this is making room for groomers to groom young people, to confuse the heck out of them, make them not know what they are so that they can take advantage and exploit them. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not the mainstream LGBTQ movement. There are a lot of conservatives that even support that movement. This is a radical agenda made by groomers, and they don't want you to call them groomers, which is a perfect example of why they are groomers. This is what we're doing, is to confuse young people, to confuse all people, to make them dumber, make them confused as to what they are. It's a mockery of women's rights. It's a mockery of human rights, and we should no longer be having the discussion.
And you end up with scandals like the Tavistock Clinic here in London, in the UK, where they were basically mutilating children, young, kids, teenagers, mutilating their bodies irrevocably. And then it turned out, after it closed, after a scandalous report came out, that 97% of all the patients had other conditions, from autism to depression to other issues, which may have been affecting their ability to think straight about what they wanted to be. And that was, to me, as a father of 4 kids, utterly horrific.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact, man. Look, I had to just stop it there because I heard enough of the fuckery. I heard enough of that lady. You know what I'm saying? Not the white lady that was from America that was speaking. Pardon me, I forgot their names. I don't know their names. Go on Piers Morgan page. Y'all will see it. Put the International Women's Day, and y'all will see the whole segment. You know what I'm saying? But just like old girl was saying, that was from America. Like, it's child abuse. This is what y'all doing. Y'all manipulating people. Y'all manipulating the weak and the strong that are standing up. Y'all are trying to erase the strength. Y'all trying to erase the strongness of people. You feel me? And it's not right. It's not right, people. Yo, this community, for the real activists in this community, we need y'all to step up. We need y'all to step up and denounce this shit. Really denounce it. Get to the world. Get on TV. Get on these YouTube platforms. Get on y'all platforms and talk and protect these real women, B. Straight like that. Protect the women. And I said real women. Yes, real women. The ones that was natural and born that way and embrace their womanhood. The ones that embrace their womanhood, that fought for their rights, that's still going through shit. And especially the black women that are going through things. Not only are they black and have to fight the fact that they are black, you know what I'm saying? Fighting that uphill battle, they gotta fight the fact that they are a woman while being black. And I'm not taking nothing away from the other cultures. Please don't. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I respect all the women. I'm just saying the struggles and why it's unfair to the women, and especially this group of women, where it's black women, where just like we're gonna keep it a stack. Women in general did not have their rights. So fuck the black women, fuck white women, Chinese, Dominican, Puerto Rico, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just women in general. They fought so hard. They fought so hard. They fought so hard. They fought so hard. And they continue to fight. So as people with sense, you know what I'm saying? As people with sense, we got to stand up. And this is why. This is my third segment on this whole community thing, because it's not spoke about enough. We just look at this shit and brush it off because people be afraid of the backlash, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Whether I was buku rich or I'm dirt poor, broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm still feel the same way and say what I say. You dig? For real. So let's protect these women. Protect these women. Protect these women. Protect their rights. Protect their sports. Protect their jobs. Protect their livelihood. Real rap. This is what we have to do. Let me know what y'all thoughts is. Should trans women be, or men, whatever the case may be allowed to celebrate Women's Day, International Women's Day, and have their motherfucking opinions? You know what I'm saying? The Rainbow Mafia, the Rainbow Mob, you know what I'm saying? They need to be X'd out. They need to be singled out. The real activists that are fighting, shout outs to y'all. Even though I don't agree with a lot, but shout outs to y'all because y'all fighting for the positive cause of your people. I dig that and I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let me know y'all thoughts. Think big, don't think at all. Show you ain't thinking big, you thinking small. Pause. This your boy, Thinkbiggoldie. You know me. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, hype, and share this video OD. Until you what, people? Until you OD 100. We out of here.